Hi, it's James from Totally Wild UK here, and we're taking a look at this stuff down here. It might look quite similar to something people might be familiar with, sticky weed or sticky willy or cleavers. It looks very similar and it's related. However, sticky weed has a stickiness to it, has little barbs, whereas this one is not sticky at all. This one is called Sweet Woodruff, and we use it as like a vanilla substitute. Typically we find this in damp woodlands. We don't find it that often, but when we do, you'll see it like this, and it'll spread out absolutely everywhere. If we take a look, we've got a round stem with something that's called whorls, so loads of leaves that come from a central point around the stem. The leaves themselves slightly rounded towards the end, elongated, with just one main central vein up it. It will produce at the top a little shoot of white flowers like the sticky weed you're used to, and on there will be 4 petals. The smell of it when it's damaged is really, really nice. It's like slightly grassy. You do get like a slightly vanilla-y kind of smell from it, but it's when it's dried or cooked that it really becomes more punchy. The chemical that's used for that is called coumarin. So coumarin is also in tonka bean. It's also in bison grass. So if you drink bison grass vodka, cumin is the flavour that we like. If we have things like panna cotta with tonka bean in there, that's the same flavour that we get. So you can use this as a substitute for that. I quite often use it in recipes as a substitute for vanilla. It's worth noting though that if we were to dry this, which quite often we do because it intensifies that flavour, if it's left damp, coumarin can turn into bicoumarin, which is a blood thinner. So if we were then to go consume quite a lot of that and get cut, we could bleed quite proficiently. So it's worth drying it very quickly and just making sure that it's, really crunchy, crispy, dry. There's no dampness left. When we look at it as a foodstuff, it's like a vanilla substitute. So I often use it in cream-based desserts. So I would blitz this up, or actually, to be honest, you can chuck the whole thing in unblitzed. You can use it fresh or dry. Some people prefer it dry because you get stronger flavour, obviously because of less liquid content. And you just drop it. All I do is drop it into cream or blend it into the cream, and then leave that overnight to infuse, and then I'll strain it out through a cloth, and then I'd use that cream in things like panna cottas or rice puddings, or if I was making a cream-based cocktail, I could use milk or cream from this in there. If I was doing something like an Eton mess and I wanted a vanilla cream topping, I could blitz this up, or again, infuse it into the cream prior to whipping it. If I was doing a vanilla cheesecake, I could do the exact same thing. The easiest way, and I love comparing wild ingredients to non-wild ingredients in this way, is to see it as a substitute for vanilla, or if it's a bit more obscure, a substitute for a tonka bean. So if you search tonka bean recipes or vanilla recipes, you can use this Sweet Woodruff as a version of that, literally a straight substitute. Also, if you pull a leaf off, you can use that as a garnish on top of food, which is quite nice. The same when the flowers come out, the little white flowers, we can use that as a garnish on top of food as well, which is really nice. So that's this one, Sweet Woodruff.